Katie from caitydoesart. In this video, I'm going to show you how I draw this seascape or beach. I start by just basically doing light sketches of where I want major things to be. So you see me drawing the horizon line, then I drew the line where the water touches the sand, and that's going to be that little blob in the middle that I'm working on now. That's going to be a wave, that dark wave that you saw in the beginning. And then I always start everything by blocking things in. I'm just going to keep on chit-chatting. As you see in the title, this video was 100% fail. You'll see why soon, but the biggest reason why was my camera setup. But if you stick around on my channel, I already ordered a better setup for my space and my camera. But because of coronavirus, it won't be delivered until April. So please just stick around. And if you're new here to my channel, guess what? I'm new too! Yay! So let's be new together. Go ahead and subscribe and like my video if you like it. I plan on doing a lot of drawing and just a lot of different crafts. I am an art teacher, but I'm not here to teach art. I'm just here to document how I'm developing my own skills, because we as art teachers, we tend to neglect our own artistic skills once you get into the same routine of making examples for assignments over and over and over again. So here we go. If you were wondering what I was using, I'm using the Artist Soft Pastels. I call them color pastels. I'm using the 36 Assorted Colors pack from Gallery by Mungayo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So I will, excuse me, I will be posting them in the description if I find them online. I did buy them at Hobby Lobby. They were $19.99, but of course Hobby Lobby always has one of those 40% off sales or even their coupon, so I probably got it for much cheaper. I tend to not buy too expensive supplies because I never know when I have a chance to use them. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of color pastels. I've never been phenomenal at them, but I decided to use them today, and I'm going to use them for a while until I feel more comfortable with them, because they are something I do ask my students to use, so I have to be able to use them myself. One thing I don't like about them is the texture. I just don't like that chalky feeling, but a lot of people, instead of using their fingers, they use like a paper towel or something to smudge. I just think that's a waste, so I'd rather just suck it up and deal with it getting on my fingers. Now I do wipe my fingers off on like a little paper towel. I use the same one the whole time, or I know it sounds gross, but I wipe it on my shirt. But that's because I mainly wear dirty shirts when I'm doing art, because I know I'm going to get messy. I mean, if it's not messy, is it really art? Another thing I'm not a big fan of is the overall, I guess you can say, application and execution of the soft pastels. I'm not a fan of having to just put so much pigment on and smudge it out. Put pigment on and smudge it out. And in the end, you really don't get that crisp of a detail that I'm used to. But that's just my preference. I'm more of a crisp detail kind of person, so you will see me later in the video. I will be using something else to help along with those details to make it look more realistic. I also wanted to apologize real quick if the video looks a little bit choppy. I did have to edit a lot out. I realized that sometimes I was drawing and I wasn't in the frame because, again, my setup sucks. I also had to speed it up quite a bit because I spent over, I want to say 2.5 hours on this drawing. So I didn't want to make y'all sit around for 2.5 hours, so it sped up, and that's what just led to this fail. I did not realize that my camera only records 20 minutes at a time. Oh my god. So I was drawing, and all of a sudden I stopped. I guess I needed a drink or something. And I saw I was no longer recording. I about died. So we're about to get to that point where we're just gonna jump to an almost finished drawing. So I apologize, but I will tell you this. I blocked in the rest of the water and the sand just like I did the sky. So you're not missing much, just a bunch of applying pigment and smudging. Alright, so here we are, almost finished. Again, my apologies that you missed all of that. At this point, I start to go back and I add details. I use the edge of my soft pastels to get a nice crisp line, or try to, and then I go back with color pencils. Now the color pencils I'm using are the Prismacolor Premier Verithin color pencils. They come in a 12-pack, or at least that's what I have. I did not buy these. One of my friends from last year teaching gave these to me. I wouldn't buy them myself just for the fact that they are hard thin lead pencils. So I don't find much use for them, because when I'm using color pencils, I like the ones that blend a whole lot easier. But for this, I keep wanting to say project. That's all our teacher me. For this drawing, I used these because I liked how they were able to make a crisp line, and in my opinion, it kind of pushed away some of the color pastel that I didn't want. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the video, just adding details until I'm pretty much satisfied with it. So I'm going to stop talking here until the end, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you again for sticking around to the end. If you would follow me on Instagram at caitydoesart, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications, and of course leave a comment down below. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye.